Mr. Quarles, both you and your wife have petitioned the court today for a DNA test for 4-year-old Sierra Forrester. You claim that due to a one-night stand, you are now in financial shambles caused by child support for a child you don't believe is yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Forrester, you initially claimed Mr. Quarles was not your daughter's father, but you are 100% certain that he is. And when proven, you expect him to financially support her.
Yes, Your Honor. So,
Mr. Quarles, explain to me, how has this child support issue caused trouble in your marriage?
Well, we fight all the time about it. A car, I can't get nothing in my name. My checks is only $40 to $50 every 2 weeks because my child support is getting taken out.
So you are having child support garnished from your checks.
Right.
And this is causing problems in your marriage.
Right.
But you do not think this child is yours.
No.
Ms. Forrester, you put him on child support.
Yes, ma'am.
You gave his name to the court.
Yes, ma'am.
And is he on the birth certificate as well?
No, I'm not.
He wouldn't come up to the
Mr. Quarles,
hospital.
how did you even find out you were on child support?
A letter got sent to the old house that we used to stay at that I had to go to court. I never knew that. It was a month later. The next thing I know, I'm getting put on child support. I just want to know, how do they do that? I mean, how do you not, I mean, you not show up for something because it was, you know, the mail went to somewhere, to the other house, but how do I get put on child support and I ain't even, I ain't signed no birth certificate, I ain't doing,
Well, you were named the father by default because you didn't show up to court. The address they had of record, the notice went there. You say you had moved,
right.
But they sent it to probably your last known address. And then because you didn't show, and you were determined to be the father by default, they were able to take child support from your check. They garnished your wages. That's how it happens. Did you appear in court ever?
Yeah.
Did you request a DNA test?
Yes.
And you were what, denied?
Denied.
He didn't request a DNA test till 2 years ago. Because I asked the child support for a DNA test. They said no, that he has to be the one to ask for it.
Are you up to date on this child support?
No, ma'am.
No.
You don't make enough money to pay this child support.
Exactly.
They garnish your wages.
Yes, they garnish my wages. On that check, I gotta do other.
But you have arrears as well.
Right.
If you don't pay your child support, you can go to jail.
Yes, and next month I have a court date that they might just send me to jail for 6 months.
All for a child that you don't believe is your biological child.
Exactly.
Because you missed a court date.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Forrester?
Yes, ma'am.
You initially said he was not the father.
Right.
Then you changed it.
Yes, ma'am.
How did that happen?
Because Miss Hernandez came up to me and asked me if he was the father. I didn't want to cause any problems between their relationship, so I told her, no, he wasn't the dad.
You were having a relationship with Mr. Quarles, even though he was in a relationship with his now wife.
Right.
That's a lie.
How did that start? How did that even come about?
We worked together, and he came up to me and flirted a little bit and asked me for my phone number, so I gave it to him, and...
That's a lie. We didn't have it wasn't like no relationship or nothing like that.
Were you intimate with her? Did you have sex with her?
Yes, I did.
Did you use protection?
No, I didn't.
So how often were you having sex with her?
It was just a one-night stand, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
One time.
it was not, ma'am. I took a lie detector test.
Wait, you're saying that it was more than one time?
Yes, ma'am.
And you asked the court to administer a lie detector test?
Yes, ma'am.
Jerome, do we have those results?
Yes, we do.
So you volunteered
Yes,
for a lie detector test because you say you had sex with him more than once?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Quarles, before I read these, I don't know what the answers are and what the results are, but I just want to give you an opportunity. Are you sure you only had sex with her one time?
Yes, Your Honor.
A one-night stand?
One-night stand.
All right. Ms. Forrester, you met with the court's licensed polygraph expert. Before I read them, do you believe you passed?
Yes, ma'am.
The questions were as follows. Ms. Forrester, you were asked, have you slept with Ura Quarles, that's Mr. Quarles, more than one time? You said yes, and the lie detector determined that was the truth. Mr. Quarles, maybe you need to rethink this relationship.
She may not know who she was sleeping with and just called them all Yuri, since she's saying she only was with one black man, but other black men at the same job claim to have slept with her too.
Okay.
But the other black men aren't named Yuri Quarles. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. I'm talking about this lie detector.
Your Honor, I remember. It's only been one
So
time.
you're going to maintain that you had sex with her only one time?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
You know you're lying.
No, I'm not
Then
lying.
how did I pass that lie detector test?
I don't know.
Ms. Forrester, what is your
what I-
recollection of the relationship?
We slept together on and off for about 3 months.
And how often during that 3-month time were you intimate?
About 5 to 8 times.
So you're pregnant. You tell Mr. Quarles it's his child?
Yes.
What was
She
his
told
response?
Idaho first.
No, I told Yuri first. He came over that night and I showed him 5 different pregnancy tests.
No, that's a lie.
And
not
you
a lie.
told him,
I told him that I was pregnant and he said that he takes care of his, not to worry.
No, the whole workplace. She's going around telling everybody that I'm the father, and that's how she found out. She told me that I was the baby's father. So, my wife goes up there and confront her. She says, "No, I am not the father."
so wait, Ms. Quarles, do you remember this encounter?
Yes. I confronted him. I kicked him out. I went and found her wiping tables, and I asked her, I said, I heard you were pregnant. Is that Yuri's baby? She said, no. I said, well, whose baby is it then?
Do you think she was sleeping with other people besides
Well,
Mr.
yeah,
Quarles?
everybody's saying she was being promiscuous around the job, talking to different people. She was doing this, that. I don't know what she does really, because I'm a cashier. I sit in one spot. They roam around. There was only one girl came to me the day after she told everybody when we came back from out of town. She said, I can't be like everybody else. I'm gonna tell you the truth. And she told me, she was just saying that was Yuri's baby that she's pregnant by.
She told you she's running around saying he is her child's father.
And then she got pregnant in the back seat. Mind you, he has a CD out, a song called Back Seat.
I also heard that around the job, it was 2 other guys that came and told me that they had slept with her
At your job.
at my job.
Ms. Forrester, were you sleeping with anybody else besides Mr. Quarles during the window of conception?
No, Your Honor.
He says 2 guys said they were sleeping with you too.
It was 2 black guys.
He's the only black guy I've ever slept with my whole entire life. That's why it's...
What's the difference if they black, white, yellow, green? What's the difference?
Because she's mixed. I mean, she's mixed, Your Honor, so I'm just...
So you're saying the baby is biracial?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so that's why you keep trying to pinpoint some other black guy.
Right.
Why did you lie to her when she asked you point blank, is this child Mr. Quarles?
I didn't want to break up their relationship.
But you could sleep with him.
He slept with me. Guess what? It's a two-way street. It wasn't
But
me
all
by
of a sudden
myself.
you had morals, and you had morals when it came to me asking you
I didn't
to
want
tell
to hurt
the
your
truth.
feelings either. You seem like a pretty nice lady. Why would I want to say he was sleeping with me?
And again, if I'm a nice lady,
I said, you seem like a nice lady.
how do you have morals all of a sudden?
So
You
wait,
didn't have morals when you was opening your legs, but
But
you got
he can't have morals when he's
talking to
sleeping with me. He has no morals.
but let me ask you
No.
this, Ms. Forrester. So since you worked together, when you started sleeping with him, you knew they were in a relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the, I want to talk about this, on and off morality. I mean, on the one hand, you're saying, I didn't want to break up their relationship by telling her that this could potentially be his child. But on the other hand, I am sleeping with him knowing that he's with her.
She's a gold digger.
Yeah,
She just want-
because you have
she's just
so
trying to get
much
some of that money.
that I want, Mr. Quarles.
So I'm telling you.
What money is this?
I mean,
At the time, he was in a record deal, And
Really, I didn't know he was in a record deal. That's not why I slept with him, that's for sure.
While you're having this child, is Mr. Quarles helping you, participating in the
No.
pregnancy? Was he there at the birth?
No.
Nothing?
No.
So Sierra's born and you're still by yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he participate at all?
He's only seen her 3 times since she's been born.
And she's 4 now?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell Ms. Quarles, did you tell his wife you were taking the child to see him?
I do not believe Miss Quarles knew that he was seeing her.
Did you know he was seeing the baby?
I knew about one time,
But
not by her. She wouldn't talk to me. She blocked me from anything. He didn't even know that I was blocked. He thought I was seeing him the whole time.
Really? Because he told me to block you.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
No, that
he
is
did.
now you know that is a lie.
I told you
that is
he was
her.
contacting me, and you said just block her. I thought
That's
you
a lie.
did anyway.
That is a lie.
You're
You
a
know
liar.
that is a
You
lie.
need the lie
Well,
detector test.
woo.
your mother's here, am I correct?
Yes.
I'd like to hear from her. Jerome, will you please escort his mother into the courtroom? Thank you so much, ma'am. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Ms. Finch, do you believe Sierra, Ms. Forrester's daughter, is your grandchild?
No, I came down for a visit to visit my other grandkids, and when I was there when they first went to the child support office, where I was in the courtroom, and where I was sitting there, I heard her say like it might not be my son's child. So I was like, why? I really got kind of upset. But now you're saying it's not my son's child, and now we're sitting here all this time, this longer time, and you're saying it's not his, and I just couldn't understand it.
So
But
you
I'm
don't
right.
think
I don't.
this child is your grandchild?
No, I don't. I don't see the resemblance. Now, okay, he has a picture when he was young, but I don't see this with this kid. I don't see it.
So Ms. Forrester, she says she overheard you saying to someone that it was not his child.
That's not true.
I don't have to get up here and lie,
I don't have to lie
because it's
What do I have to lie about?
because it's a kid involved.
Exactly.
And I didn't get to know my family, my mother and dad, and I would like this kid to know.
Okay. We're about to go to the results. It's time. But before we do, I have to ask you. He says it's a one-night stand. You say this went over the span of at least 3 months. So during that 3-month time, were you intimate with any other person?
No, ma'am. Not that I can recall.
Not that you can recall.
Right.
Not that she can think of.
Jerome, I've heard enough. I'm ready for the results.
Here we go.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Quarles versus Forrester, when it comes to 4-year-old Sierra Forrester, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Quarles, you are the father.
Well, it makes me happy. I would like to see her. I have like visitation rights, everything.
No.
What did you say, Ms. Forrester?
I said no.
So now you don't want them to be a part of your child's life?
My daughter's 4. She has a dad. My fiance, she calls daddy. That's all she knows for 2 years. And now Mr. Quarles wants to come into her life and confuse her.
And whose fault is that? Yours.
It's his.
No,
It's
that's
yours.
that's your fault.
I'm
You the
the
one-
with him.
you-
No,
Possession of the child.
I asked him. I used to beg him to come and see her.
No, listen. So you basically just want to receive the support.
Exactly.
Yes, I
You want the money,
right.
Exactly.
don't want the man.
Right.
But you're going to deny your daughter the right to know her biological father and family.
Till later on in life when she understands
Later
and starts
on.
asking.
So while I realize you made up this make-believe future in your mind, let me give you the news flash. He has a legal right to see his child. A legal right.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's the way it
Thank
goes.
you.
And this
Thank you.
is, I want to say this to you, and I'm going to say it as respectfully as possible. You had a part to play in this,
Yes, ma'am.
a very large part.
Yes, ma'am.
There will come a day when she will want to know her real father. Don't do her that disservice. You seem emotional, Mr. Quarles. What are you feeling?
I know it's killing me, man, because, you know, I ain't have a father figure when I was growing up. That's right. And for her to be missing these 4 to 5 years already, you know, and not knowing who I am, it hurts me.
This is going to take some work. This will not be easy. We have counseling, we have resources for all of you. We want you to take advantage of it. In light of this, if I agree to supervise and be present, is it okay if Mr. Quarles meets his daughter in my chambers?
Sure.
That was the first baby step. Ms. Prowl, now you're asking the court to award you $475 in back child care expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Should one of 3 men be identified as your baby's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
You say your 6-week-old baby has 3 potential fathers,
Yes, Your Honor.
including the defendant, Mr. Morton.
Yes, Your Honor.
All of these men have been tested, and we will hear from them shortly. Now, Mr. Morton, you say that the endless list of men Ms. Prowl has slept with has led you all here to Paternity Court. You believe it'll be proven today that you are not her baby's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
What upsets you most about this situation?
Well, in this situation, I was under the impression that was, you know, me and her pretty much against the world. You know, I've come to find out that she's slept around with one guy, then another guy. I'm just perplexed about the situation. I don't know who the father is of this child. This is why I'm here.
Let me first hear how you met and how did you all get in a relationship?
We worked at a sandwich shop together. She was there about maybe a month or 2 before I started working there. So when I got in, you know, she invited me to kind of go ice skating. Now, needless to say, come to the day that we were supposed to go ice skating, we didn't make it to the ice rink. She pretty much came back straight to my place. You know, I don't need to go any further from there.
All right, so, Ms. Prowl, you started a relationship with Mr. Morton,
Yes.
and it was going pretty well?
Yes, the relationship was going wonderful in the beginning. Now, a couple of months in, I'm finding out there's another woman
What evidence do you have of that?
on his Twitter account. He's talking to a young lady saying these things that I can't say in court.
Sexual things.
Yes, and he's supposed to be with me.
That's not true at all, okay?
Excuse me. We're going back and forth about it. I go through his phone. You're not supposed to go through my phone. That's not something you do.
'Cause that's my phone.
If
What
that's
do you
not
mean?
something I do, what right do I have?
When do I go through your phone? When have I gone through your phone?
It doesn't matter. I didn't start cheating on you until after. You cheated on me first.
How did you find out she was cheating, Mr. Morton?
One incident in particular, actually, I worked at a sandwich shop. We were running low on bread that day. There's another, location near where I worked at where I was sent to get more bread.
All right.
So I go into the sandwich shop. The guy, I think his name is Mr. Gaddis. He was going to hand me the bag of bread. Before he did so, he asked me, was I involved with Miss Prowl? Now, I told him yes. You know, we had a little thing going on at the time. It wasn't very, very serious. Well, he was like, well, I
But
hope
you're
you
listening
don't.
to other people, though. You're listening
I
to
hope
other
you don't
people.
get too serious with her
He doesn't,
because
Your Honor,
I have
he doesn't
already
even know
slept
this
with her.
person. He doesn't. Someone else just comes up to him, and I'm not going to lie, it is true. But what if he would have said some other things? What if he would have said some other things?
So I
But
was
what he
right.
said was true.
So you're proving my point right. I should have listened
Were
to it,
you
which I did.
cheating with Mr. Gaddis or not?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
All right. Do you also believe he could potentially be your child's father?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaddis was not able to appear today, but he did offer a video statement.
Sex was great, obviously. You know, we ended up hooking up again after that, and seeing her walking around at the job, you know, made the chemistry even better. You know, she looked real good in a little outfit. Didn't know she was in a relationship. She lied to me, obviously. I don't think I'm the father, you know, because we only messed around a few times, and I didn't hear from her for months after that. I didn't know she was pregnant until Desmond told me in passing.
Wow.
Wow. So he's also been tested, and we're going to have those results revealed later on as well. But tell me, Ms. Prowl, a little bit about your relationship with Mr. Gaddis.
Well, Your Honor, there's really no relationship. We met at a party. I was drinking hard liquor. We were talking, just chit-chatting, nothing serious, and we went in the back and had sex, of course. There is no relationship because I still had feelings for Desmond, and I still wanted to try to work it out, but that was more of a one-time thing.
So it's okay for you to do that, right?
Please do not cut
So
me off
how
because,
are you trying to
because you're
how
the
are you trying to
person-
justify
Miss
these
Prowl,
actions here?
when you want to make a relationship work, having sex in the bathroom at a party is not really the way to do it.
And that's what I told her. I thought that was obvious. Like,
So this Mr. Gaddis thing was just, like you said, a one-time thing, but it was
Yes, Your
during the
Honor.
time of conception, and
Yes,
so
Your
he could
Honor.
possibly be your child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So there's also a third person.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is that, and how did that come to pass?
Mr. Laurie, we also met, and I do want to say for the record, I'm very remorseful for what I did because that was totally out of spite. That's what it was. I did it because I found out he was messing around
now
with
you're
someone
immature.
else. Excuse me. So I said, okay, you know, you didn't put a ring on my finger. You want to go talk to other people? Fine, I can do the same thing. So that's what I did, and I do feel terrible about the decisions I made because 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Right?
It doesn't make it
You
right for me to go do
recognize
it.
that this is 3 wrongs, though.
Yes, Your Honor.
He did wrong, but then you got him back, Mr.
Bye.
Gaddis,
Yes, Your Honor.
Threefold.
and then Mr. Laurie.
Yes,
so,
Your Honor.
wrong, wrong, wrong. Jerome, I think it's time we meet Mr. Laurie. Please bring him into the courtroom.
Okay.
So pretty much me and Mr. Lowry, we were both on trash duty at the job one day. Okay. You know, and at one point in time, he seen that me and Miss Prowl had been involved. So he let me know that at one point in time that they met, you know, they slept together more than once actually.
All right, so Mr. Laurie,
How you doing, Your Honor?
thank you for being here.
No problem.
What do you have to add to this? You were intimate with Ms. Prowl,
Yes.
so you understand that you could potentially be her child's father as well.
Yes, but my problem with this is if you knew we had sex more than once, why wasn't I hit up for this? Like, why weren't I called?
Can I say something, Your Honor?
I'm talking now.
Can I say
never,
something, Your
never,
Honor?
never. No calls, no texts, because I switched jobs. How we met at a party. We drinking, we go back in the room. Of course, what happens? Teenagers. After all this goes down, you know, we go back to work. I'm thinking of it like, okay, she works, we work together, we live close by each other. It's cool, you know, casual.
All right, so
Like you-
wait a minute. So you were sleeping with 3 co-workers from the sandwich shop.
Yes, Your Honor.
You contacted 2 of them to say you were pregnant, but you never contacted him.
Yes, Your Honor. But I do not want him to be my child's father.
Well, you can't control that, can you?
Possibly
You
could
act
be
like
the
you can pick.
father.
No one is talking to you.
Wow.
I didn't know you could pick.
Let me make something clear. If you having sex at the back of parties, in the bathroom, unprotected, with everybody in the sandwich shop, you're not gonna know who your child's father is.
Your Honor, can I show you how everything folds? How
Please
everybody
enlighten me.
Okay. I slept with Mr. Morton during our relationship sometime on the 17th, and I slept with him again on the 28th.
Okay, move on.
I'm on the red. When I slept with Mr. Gaddis at a party, it was around the 19th, and then again on the 22nd. When I slept with Mr. Laurie, which was a terrible mistake, was the 24th as well as a party, and then again at the 26th.
These dates are a little closer
So
than I thought.
they're a
terrible
lot
mistake,
closer,
huh?
and they're a lot closer in the date of conception.
Miss
So that's how
Prowl,
everybody is.
A terrible
They
mistake.
I can go
are
back.
all right in the time of conception.
I don't know. Like, look at these
And
dates.
this-
They're
and-
dangerously
and
close.
this
They're
is
very
also
close.
stuff.
So when Ethan was born, were any of the men with you in the hospital?
Mr. Morton was in the hospital with me during the process of me giving birth. However, after me giving birth and they moved me to my stable room, he left and didn't come back. He took off work. Why would you take off work and leave me? Why would you do that?
Did
Where
you
did you
sign
go?
the birth certificate, Mr. Morton?
No, he
No,
did
ma'am.
not, Your Honor.
And why didn't you sign it?
Because I would have been a fool if I've done it and without knowing that it's really my child.
At the time Ethan was born, were you aware? I mean, I know you had conversations with these men, but were you aware of any other potential men she could have slept with?
Pretty much she has a reputation. Like, look at that. Like, look, 2 weeks apart, couple days apart. Like, really, you've been a busy woman in that month. Look at that.
So, Miss Prowl, have any of these men, have they been helping you? Has
No,
anybody
Your
been
Honor,
a part
no.
of the
And-
child's life?
How can I help
No, Your
if
Honor.
I didn't get a call about a child to begin with, though?
And why didn't you call him?
How can
Because
we
I
help
did
if
not
we don't
want
hear about
him
the
to be
kid?
the father. I didn't want him
But
to
Miss
know.
It doesn't matter. If
Excuse me,
that's
I
my
didn't
kid,
even
you
want.
should have to
I didn't
call
even
me
want
to let
Mr.
me
Morton
know.
to know.
This is what
I don't
this is what
care
I
if
wanna
you
know.
don't want us to be together, because it's not like I even like you like that. But if that's my kid, you still supposed to let me know.
Are you good with kids?
It doesn't matter.
No.
Yes, I am.
No,
What do you
you're not.
mean?
How?
What do you mean? How would you know? How would you know?
How?
I have
How?
2 nephews.
So how do you
They
change
both
a
love
diaper?
me.
How do you
Hold
change a
on
diaper?
1 second. Hold on. Now you got a young man that's passionate about knowing
Your
whether
Honor.
he fathered a child. No. You gonna hear this. Now you sitting up here grilling him, asking him, does he know how to change a diaper? None of you all are that far out of diapers. You don't have any business sleeping around, not protecting yourself. Now you question him, is he good with kids and he's this? Now all of a sudden you selective. When I'm looking at a rainbow-colored board that indicates that you don't even know how to be selective when it counts. Now, I'm gonna say right now, that's a lot of nerve to stand in this courtroom and say this man could potentially be the father of your child, but you conveniently couldn't even call to tell the young man because you didn't want him to be the father.
I know how it feels to grow up without a father. Like that's not cool, yo. Like I understand that
Okay,
because
now
my
we're
dad
going with
wasn't
a
around.
sob story
And then
now.
it's a
Now we're
possibility
going
to
with
have
a
a
sob
son,
story
and
now.
you don't even
Now
call.
we're
Like
going with a sob story now.
whatever, man. Hey, it's real life.
Did you really suggest that was a sob story?
It is. He's not really like this. He's not genuine. He could care less.
Really? How would you know that if you never told him?
Is Mr. Gaddis, is he compassionate? Is Mr. Gaddis
He's not
compassionate?
even here, so why?
No, but
that's
you
what I
know
was
him, right?
just
Since you
about to
don't know
say.
me, but you know him. So is how about
He's
Mr. Morton?
here?
Is Mr. Morton compassionate? Like since I'm
No,
just
all
like the
he
devil,
cares about
you know?
is his video games. That's
You
it.
haven't shown
But is he
me what you-
compassionate?
It
Don't
doesn't
answer the
matter.
question.
Show me. No.
It does not matter.
Why should
All
I
you
redirect
do is
my
see
attention?
Play the video.
You brought a witness, and I want to hear from her.
I did.
Miss Turner, am I correct?
Yes, Your
Please
Honor.
step up to the podium. And please state your name.
Ashley Turner.
All right. Now, Miss Turner, you are Miss Prowl's
Neighbor.
Neighbor. And what do you have to add to this?
Well, from my understanding, all 3 of them being some real deadbeat daddies.
Okay.
It's a percentage that is your child, it's a percentage that it isn't your child. Regardless, until you know, no one should hold it against this child.
But your point is you don't feel like any of the men truly stepped up. And that would be Mr. Gaddis and Mr. Morton because Mr. Laurie didn't know.
If you ask me, I have been Ethan's other parent.
Taking me to my doctor's appointments.
I've been to doctor's
ultrasounds.
appointed.
She was also there.
She
don't
went
have
in
any
labor
following you like
at
girls
my
do.
Does he
house.
help me
Who are
with the
you
groceries?
even?
No.
No, I didn't know she had friends. Like,
Miss
who?
Turner, thank you for your testimony. You may be seated.
Thank you. Please sit down.
Miss Prowl, I want to understand your $475 suit.
I have receipts and some more proof
Jerome,
here.
will you hand those receipts to me, please?
Didn't know you were a bookkeeper.
I keep all my receipts
keep
because
all-
you don't help with nothing. He doesn't buy nothing, Your Honor.
He doesn't know if he's the
He
father.
doesn't go to
That's not obvious to you?
How do you want money if we don't know?
Your Honor.
I better hear you take some responsibility yourself for where you and your baby are today. I'm not saying they got it all the way right. All of you silly. Because you're teenagers, you're young, you have no business even having babies. If you don't require that they protect themselves, guess who is the only one in the equation that can end up pregnant?
I can, Your Honor.
And when all of them can say they have doubt about whether or not they're the father, who doesn't have doubt about whether they're the mother?
I do, Your Honor.
Exactly, and that's what teen girls don't think about when you're laying around with little boys because you think you cute, up at parties, having a ball, turned up, and now you're turned out by yourself. Let's go to the results. Jerome, These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Prowl versus Morton, when it comes to 6-week-old Ethan Morton, Mr. Gaddis is not the father. In the case of Prowl versus Morton, pertaining to whether or not Mr. Morton or Mr. Lowry is the biological father of 6-week-old Ethan Morton, it has been determined by this court the father is Mr. Morton. Are those tears of joy or just relief?
I do feel remorseful. And can I say a couple of things to these gentlemen?
Yes.
I do apologize for, I'm guessing you did want to know. I do apologize. I do apologize to you for cheating on you. If you want to be here with me and the baby, that's fine. If not, I totally understand.
Mr. Morton?
Well, I came here knowing that there is a possibility that it could be my child, which is completely fine. You know, I take care of my business, okay? So I don't have no problems, you know, if it is mine. But as far as me and Miss Prowl, unless we're talking about little Ethan, we have nothing else to talk about.
Mr. Morton, she has submitted $950 worth of receipts. She's suing for $475, which is half of that amount. And you are legally obligated to pay that to her because you are responsible for the care and upbringing of your child. Are we clear?
That's very clear, Your Honor.
So the judgment is for the plaintiff for $475. Before I completely let you all go and adjourn this court, I have seen you all act immature to the 10th power in here today. Tit for tat, back and forth, sleeping with this one, sleeping with that one. You look like kids to me. You could be my kids. And yet now we know you somebody's parents. You parents.
Yes, Your Honor.
We must get it together. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned. Ms. Allen, you've opened your case today to prove to your on-again, off-again boyfriend that he is the father of your 20-month-old daughter, Adriana. You hope today's DNA results can save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brewer, you say it is medically impossible for you to be Adriana's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Allen, I'll start with you. You say today's case means everything.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
Well, we have a current child together already, and I'm here to prove to him, to let him know that he's Adriana's father. And he claims the other one, our current child, but he don't claim her, and that hurts me badly. And I just, I'm assuming because when his other relationships he was in, they was blaming children on him, saying it was his child and all that. And I feel like he just taking it out on me. And I feel like it shouldn't be the case.
And you believe his doubts are unwarranted?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you feel, Mr. Brewer? Do you believe your doubts are credible or not?
Yes, Your Honor. I know she's not mine. I have evidence that she was talking to other guys and stuff like that. And like she said, I've been hurt before. So, I mean, I've had children put on me. And I just don't believe she's mine.
And so you admit you are denying this baby?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me why you have this doubt, Mr. Brewer. Explain to the court.
One day her phone went off, and I was like, what's going on, you know? So I ended up looking at the phone. And when I looked at the phone, it was one of her friends' name. But when I started reading, it wasn't no friend.
Oh.
It was another man. So.
And what did the text message say?
Your Honor, that's a lie. Well, it was one of the text messages that I read was like, you know, I don't want to wear a condom.
Really?
So I'm like, you know, what's going on with this? You know, why is she talking about that stuff like that? Your Honor, it's his baby. I just want him to stop denying the child. I didn't mess with nobody. The text message he's talking about, I don't recall that. I don't remember none of that. I don't remember texting anybody like that. Yeah, I have guy friends. If that's the issue, he don't need to have female friends.
And so is that the only text you saw, Mr. Brewer?
No, ma'am. It was like several different guys. That's what made me mad. And I mean, like I said, that wasn't the only conversation.
So specifically, what did the text say, the other ones you saw?
Well, it was
That's not
another
true,
text
Your Honor.
message about that a guy wanted to at her, and she said she didn't care.
That, Your Honor, that is a lie.
Oh. Okay, can we say that more respectfully?
I'm sorry.
I don't even know if it's a way to say it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The guy.
Forget it. I got it.
Okay.
So there's a text that says that.
That's a lie, Your Honor. That never happened. None of that happened. I just feel like
You keep
You just
cutting
don't-
him off while he's trying to testify. You don't want me to
he's
hear
wrong.
these facts.
no, he's lying. Not that he's just lying. None of that is true.
Why is he lying?
Like it's been multiple times, and like I told him, the reason I started texting other dudes and stuff like that, because I just seen stuff he didn't say to other females.
Oh, so
When
the
I was
truth
pregnant
is
with
you
my daughter-
were texting other men.
Yeah, but as a friend wise, not the way he talking. Not the way he talking. No, not
You
like
lying.
that. But the thing is, I didn't see him do it a multiple times. When I was pregnant with my daughter, it was the ex he was talking to. He told her he wanted to have sex with her.
Okay, so now we're getting to what's really going on. So you playing a game for tit for tat, but you keep losing. You know I say it every time. We don't win that game. We never win that game. If you get to the point where there's too many girls in his phone, then you just got to be done. Because playing the game of tit for tat leads you smack dab where you are, paternity court. So now that we know what's really going on, and you've admitted you were talking to men on your phone.
Yes, Your Honor.
So these text messages you saw were text messages that made you think, well, maybe Adriana's not your baby.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. And then it was an incident. She worked at a department store, and somebody that worked there at the department store showed me a video of her having sex with some guys.
Really?
Why they're supposed to be on break?
On break?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, that is a lie. Like I told him, show me the proof. Because I want to see for myself. He wouldn't show me. So I have no idea what he's talking about. And I asked myself, which female told you that? So I can tell her to show me. And he wouldn't tell me. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to tell you. And he just making that stuff up in his head. Because he'd have been hurt before. And he felt like since he'd been hurt before that he can't trust nobody.
Your Honor, the thing is...
And I feel like he should give me a chance to show him. Like, I do love him. I really do. And I want to be with him. And I want our family to be happy, but...
Your Honor, the thing is the girl that worked at the department
trying to
store.
talk to him, so of course she gonna make up lies about me.
She was trying to talk to me. That's why she showed me the video. Because she was like, I don't want you getting done like that.
But the thing is, what video? I never seen the video, I never did it. So I don't even know what he even talking about.
And you knew for certain it was Ms. Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know?
Because of what she had on.
What I have on? We all wear the same thing at work. So what did I have on?
Denisha, that was you.
We all wear
know
the
it
same
was.
thing.
So when you found out you were pregnant, take me back to that day.
When I found out I was pregnant, I ain't gonna say he wasn't happy, but the vibe he was getting off, you know. And it was just like, he was happy, but he wasn't. Like, it was a big surprise to him, unexpected. We was already struggling with just one child, and then having another one made it even harder and tougher. When I was going into labor, I was having contractions. I told him I didn't feel good, I needed to go to the hospital. And it was a bad weather storm we had. And I told him I need to go. He said, well, you going to go take yourself. I didn't feel comfortable going by myself. So I called one of my family members, complaining to them about that. And they told me, go and call the ambulance. I called the ambulance, they came and took me myself. He came to the hospital maybe 15, 20 minutes late after the fact I had the baby. He looked at the baby and looked at me and said, are you sure this is my baby? I said, we're not finna start that. You did it with Junior, you're not finna do it here. You can leave. And it hurted me when he said that. The thing
You said he did it with your older child?
Yeah. And I said, you can leave. We don't have to deal with that. So he left. We talked on the phone. And I told him, I said, look, she's a preemie. She came a month early. Of course, she's not fully developed. She don't have her color all the way.
So, Mr. Brewer, why were you acting so indifferent about the birth of the baby? I mean, what is going through your mind? You can't kick into gear.
Well, Your Honor, first of all, she had her previous pregnancy. She had like the problems with, you know, where she was having false contractions and stuff like that.
Okay.
I said, if you really having trouble, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and take me a shower. Just wait till I get out the shower. And I said, we'll go, I'll take you. So.
And that's just one thing you had to learn that a man can't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
When
and you missed the birth.
Yes, ma'am. But the thing was, like I said, I didn't know that she was, because she didn't call me and let me know that, like, it was really happening.
Oh, is she supposed to get on the phone?
I mean, I would think so, you know.
Let me let you know, we don't have no time to make no phone calls.
Yes,
Right, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right.
That's not what we're doing when that happens.
Yes, ma'am. I understand, Your Honor.
So now we understand that.
Yes, ma'am.
But in your mind, when you got there, you still had doubts anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
But Your Honor, look at my daughter and look at him. She look nothing like me. She got my nose, but as far as anything else, no. She look like him and his mama.
And Your Honor, one day we had got to arguing, and she told me that I wasn't the dad.
Oh, she did?
Yes, ma'am.
Take me back to that argument. What did she say?
She was just like, that's why you ain't Adriana daddy. And I looked.
Your Honor.
Sounds like you said that, Miss
Your
Allen.
Honor, the thing is, we got to arguing. As he always say when we get arguing, he get mad and leave. Oh, I ain't raising them little kids. Them kids ain't mine. You take care of them yourself. Okay. So I told him, yeah, you're right. They ain't your child. I did tell him that.
So you know you can't unring that bell.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
It was a wrap. Already have doubts, and then in the argument that comes out, he's done now. Can't take that back. That's another game we don't win.
Yes, Your Honor.
And another thing, Your Honor, too, is the blood type.
Okay, and that's your other doubt. You say the blood type.
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
Well, Denisha, me, and my son, we have O negative. Adriana has A. So, I mean, it's no way that I'm the father. You understand what I'm saying?
So you submitted a chart to the court that shows the various blood types. You say, Miss Allen's blood type is O negative, your blood type is O negative, your older child's blood type is O negative, but Adriana's blood type is A.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And you believe that it is impossible for two people with O negative blood type to have a child that has a blood type of A.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, the court would like to learn more about these possibilities, so I'd like to call on Dr. Samantha Brown Parks. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Parks into the courtroom? I have a few questions for her. Hello, Dr. Parks.
Hi, Your Honor.
Thank you so much for being back with us. We're here discussing the paternity of baby Adriana, and Mr. Brewer has stated that he believes that two O negative blood type parents could not produce an A blood type child. That is his position. He believes that that is why Adriana is not his child, and I needed to call on you to find out if this is in fact possible.
Two O-type parents traditionally cannot make anything other than an O baby. However, there's spontaneous mutations. So the DNA can actually change even though mom and dad each give their part and they come together. Once it's combined in the baby, something goes a little different and it starts producing those antigens that are on the outside of the blood cell, hence making the child a different blood type.
Oh, that's fascinating. What is the probability of that? What percentage of children could this happen to?
So spontaneous mutations are fairly rare. Depending on your ethnicity and race, it can range anywhere from 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 10,000.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't happen very often.
So the fact that it's so rare, I'm sure, Mr. Brewer, that furthers your doubt, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But the fact that it is possible in some way, does that give you at least some sense that this could have happened?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
But overall, you still deny. You still say this isn't my baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Not just because of the blood type, but also because of the behavior.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
What are you thinking, Miss Allen? You have a very defeated energy right now. Is there something that you need to say?
It just hurt that he not, it hurt that he denied her. I wish he'd treat her the same. Like, he treat them both the same, but you can tell he got the type of doubt. And you can tell by the way he look and interact with her. And it just hurt me, like, really bad. And I just want to prove to him that he is her father. I know it, that he's her father. He's the only person I slept with, so I know for a fact it's him.
That's what they all say.
So, Mr. Brewer, if in fact Adriana is your biological child, how do we move forward?
I'm gonna take care of her. I mean, I treat both of them, you know, the same. I mean, I love both of them unconditionally. I mean, I'll step up a little bit more. I do better.
And if she is not, where do we go from here?
Good riddance.
So the stakes are high here, and we need to get some answers. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Allen versus Brewer, when it comes to 1-year-old Adriana Brewer, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Brewer, you are the father.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
You are very welcome, sir. Are you happy?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. I'm excited, you know. That's my baby. I got 2 babies. See, there we go.
There they go.
That's a family right there.
He is excited, Miss Allen. And you
Yes.
sitting over there crying. What you feel, honey? What do you feel?
I'm happy.
You happy?
Don't cry. It's all good.
He done sat up there and talked about it like a dog. Now he's talking about, don't cry, it's all good.
Yep.
Thank God for this courtroom. Yeah. Listen, this is the power of what we do. Because getting down to the truth and getting rid of the confusion, we have ability to figure out how we can move forward. I know that was a lot, but I hope there were lessons in there that you learned, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
2
So
wrong
you
don't make
can't,
a right.
2 wrongs don't make a right, but 1 wrong is wrong.
That's right.
So you stop being wrong.
That's right, Your Honor. You right.
Don't try to become no life coach up in here today. You get your own life together.